AC clean on this. I guess the regular clean. Very nice indeed. Neck pickup. Man, sounds really good. Overdrive. Here's the crunch. That's the blues. Here's the crunch. Sounds big. Pretty excellent. Bridge pickup. Here's the lead sound. Nothing but reverb on this. I can make the reverb deeper if I need to. More reverb than I need. Here's the rhythm sound. Here's the metal sound. Take that over to the lead sound. Right now I'm getting ready to start a little test to see how does the JOYO DC-15S sound to record through. So right now I've got my pedal board going into it. I am running through a cab box here, so I get a little bit of a cabinet sound. I'm playing a deluxe Fender. Actually, I'm playing a player Strat from back about 2010. I'm in the neck position. That's on the overdrive. Let's go to the clean sound here. Now, I don't know if the sounds coming out of here are stereo or not. When you go out, I'm going out the headphone out over here on the JOYO. Let me go to something that might be a stereo effect like the phaser or something, and maybe a delay. Let's see if it actually does something. Crazy. Going back to the bridge pickup. know if y'all can tell if it's stereo or not. I'll have to go back and listen in my headset later and find out. It sounds sort of like it might be. So if I were to turn something on like a JOYO AC tone, let's see what I get with that. Let's turn some of that phasing stuff off. Let's go back to like a zero effects, maybe some reverb, and let's go to like the crunch sound. That's a lot of reverb. Let me turn the reverb back a little bit. I mean the lead sound now. Let's go over to the metal sound. Sounds really clean. I still have the AC tone on. Go to an American sound. I tried JOYO tarring in here in the loop. Now it must be said, this is not an interface to record. Just how does it sound to record out of it? To use the distortions and stuff that are in there, it sounds really nice. So it is a good, clean little platform for that, but it does not have a USB out. You have to go out into something like a Focusrite or some other kind of an interface. If you like the amp sounds you're getting with it, then you can stay with them. Turn everything off and still have the cab box on. Here I am with an Ibanez AS93. Man. Let's put a little trim or something on that just for fun. Let's see how much we need. Phaser. Put some chorus on it. That's on the JC Clean. It sounds really good if I go to the acoustic on that. I wonder if I go up to the overdrive on that, what's it going to sound like? But let's go to the overdrive. Let's take that tone all the way down so we're playing with some bass here. Gain up a little bit, volume up. Friends, when JOYO first asked me to review this little amp, I thought it was going to be an easy thing to do. I thought it would be easy to do, but it's not, because it does a lot of different things. It's a lot more amp than I was expecting it to be for such a tiny little amp. And I guess what I thought it would be is some sort of combination of maybe a katana functionality and a spark. So I've got a spark back here behind me. I have a katana. The reason I saw it that way is because, you know, what you have here on the top, you've got sort of a katana type series of functions, right? You've got an acoustic, which katana has. You got like a JC clean, jazz chorus. I'm assuming that's what that's supposed to be. You got clean, you got overdrive, you got blues, crunch, lead, rhythm, metal. And I thought, well, that's kind of a katana-y type thing, right? And it's not really models. It's just their version of all those different sorts of sounds. And is it like a Spark? Well, no, not really. It's not got the same sort of functionality as Spark does, but it has much more than that in a way. The number one thing I'll say is that it's fun. This has been the most fun I've had with a little amp in a long time, and I wasn't expecting that. What surprised me about it? What surprised me about it is that it really sounds nice with any guitar. Right now I'm playing with an Ibanez, an old hollow body Ibanez that I got. This is an Artcore AGS 83B. I've tried it with Telecasters, I've tried it with Strats, I've run a Les Paul through it, I've run other semi-hollow guitar, Ibanez AS93, other humbucking type pickups through it. I've run cheap guitars, expensive guitars. It sounds good. Now, does it sound fantastic? It sounds good. It sounds, I would say, above average. I mean, it's not on the level of some like really expensive boutique kind of tube amp, of course, but you got to figure out what is this thing intended to be. Well, to me, I thought, well, it's a practice amp. It's just a practice amp. But then I started realizing the looper in it is good enough, and the drums in it are good enough that you could go out and you could play. You could go. It's battery powered. You could take it out, sit on a park bench somewhere, and you could play for people and entertain them. It's plenty loud enough to mic it up and perform with it. I mean, I've got it turned pretty low right now. It has all kinds of different sound options. It has enough of the effects that you need to pull off some pretty good little recordings. So you could record with this amp. You can definitely practice with it. What I found out is that it's just a little amp that's convenient. That's probably, I would say, the number one thing I've got to say about this amp is everything is there. You can get to almost any sound you're looking for to inspire you pretty quickly. So you've got all kinds of overdrives. It sounds good running my pedals through it. I got this massive pedal board. Y'all seen them in probably previous videos. A lot of JOYO pedals on that, and a lot of cheap Behringer pedals that I'm using. Everything I send into it sounds really good. It's so small. It's like the size of a lunchbox. You can pick it up just like that. I mean, it's not a lightweight amp at all, but it's very easy to move around. It's mobile. The looper is really fun. I love the fact that it includes the rhythm machine and the looper, and it's easy to get your loops to be very tight and well made because you're playing along with the rhythm machine that's on there, right? I mean, those things don't sound fancy or anything. Easy to change the tempo. So you got something to help you keep your tempo. You've got a nice looper where you can create phrases and you can set solo and just spend all kind of time working on your phrasing, working on your, hey, what does it sound like to play a certain mode against a certain chord progression? So I'm finding myself playing more because I've got it here. I use this little amp pretty much exclusively when I prepared for a recent gig that I did over at Sky Retreat. You may have seen some of the videos on my YouTube channel. And so, I mean, I had my 100-watt Fender GTX 100 took out with me. I programmed the sounds to sound good on that. But all my practicing I did with this, I took it with me wherever I went, wherever I had spare time. I love the fact it's battery powered. You don't have to have
the adapter plugged into it. I like the fact that it's full range, that you can actually play keyboards through it, or you can play your bass through it, and it sounds good. So good job, JOYO. Yeah, I bought an adapter so I could play sounds from my iPhone into it. I've not done that yet. That's the only thing I've not tested, but I'm confident it's going to sound great. I've just not had a chance to do it yet. And I can just throw it in the car. I wish I had a case for it. I wish I had something I could carry it in. So I'm looking for something like a padded cooler or something I could stick it in. I wish it came with some sort of little case. And there may be some option that I can get, because I want to take good care of this thing. It has a line out. I did do some recording. I didn't use the line out in the back, though, because it said that was for going out to another amp or speaker. All I did, I just went through the headphone out and I went into my Zoom L12, and it sounded great. I mean, it made decent recordings. Now, that's not, you're not going to have, you're still going to have an audio interface to go into your computer or your Mac. I've got a Focus right here. I just went out from that, and it seems to be, the effects seem to be stereo when you go out through that headphone out, right? To me, it sounds cool. I like that you can use it with a guitar, with a bass, with a keyboard. Super convenient. Good enough effects. Now, you might wish there were different effects that you could add, that you could do delay and reverb. Now you can't really. You've got the option of reverb and delay, and then you've got phaser, tremolo. You've got chorus, and you've got flanger. But all those are good sounds. All of them are usable. If there were a critique I have, so it's a $200 amp. I mean, what do you expect for $200 amp? If there were a critique, the only critique I would have is that I wish it had a tuner in it. But you know what? I've got a tuner in my cell phone. That's what I use. I tune with my cell phone if I don't have, and I've got a poly tune on the floor I could take out with me. Other than that, I don't know what else I would say. It would be good to have maybe a depth selector for the effects. In other words, I can change the rate of an effect, but I can't change how much of it is in the mix. It does have this sweepable tone. You got a tone from 0 to 10. So here it'd be in 0 up to so you got from a bright to a dark, or dark to a bright. So yeah, here again, is that really what this is intended for? Here's what muddies the water for me on this is, I think it's good enough that it could be a little performance amp. You'd have to mic it, or you'd have to run into a board or something. And naturally, you're probably what this would be is like for impromptu gigs, for going out and playing with somebody. Say you got an acoustic guitar player and he has an acoustic amp, and they're going to go sit out on a bench and play in a park. You take your electric guitar, your bass, or whatever, your keyboard even, and run into something like this. Not have to worry about a power supply, and you've got enough effects and stuff that you could do something really cool. The looper, even though it's only 30 seconds, that's typically enough for you to get a good phrase to do your loops, build your loop around. Some people like to make longer loops than that. Typically, every loop I make is 15 to 18 seconds or less. So I don't see that as being a problem at all. The main thing I think is it sounds good. It sounds good. It just is an inspiring little cool amp for less than $200. I don't know where you go to get one that sounds good, that's battery backed up, that has the various different features that it has. It has a good looper built into it, and that is actually a tweeter and a speaker in there. It's not just for guitar. That's the thing that I like about it, is even though it says digital guitar amplifier, it's more than that. And it's just a lot of fun. Like I say, I've not tried every feature. I've not even started to exhaust all the features. I've not hooked it up to Bluetooth. I don't know how that part of it works, but I do feel like after 2 weeks of playing with it, I'm qualified to say it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's one I'm going to keep. I'm not going to give it away or anything. Matter of fact, I'm thinking about, wouldn't it be cool to have 2 of them? Would it be cool to run my Yamaha keyboard over here and have a left and right? So that's something I've even thought about just for fun. So this one was given to me by JOYO. And so far I've been impressed with everything I've gotten from them. I first got my first sample with JOYO, I think, was I bought the AC Tone, their AC Tone pedal, which gives you an AC 30 sound. I did get the American after that. I was so impressed with the AC Tone. Then I got the British and the California. I ended up buying an Uzi. I got the Batson pedal. I've got their Atmosphere pedal. I got the Cab Box. I bought the Taran, which is their clone. Everything I've gotten from them has been nice and exceeded my expectations, particularly for the price, because the price is right on these little things. Like I say, this is it's just so easy to dial in something that's gonna inspire you to do something, right? Cool. All I would say is if you're looking for a practice amp that's going to give you more than a practice amp, that's going to be fun. It's going to be just hours of fun and coolness, and something that's so tiny that it's no big deal for you just to throw it in the back of your car and go to a gig, go to a practice. Then yeah, I would highly recommend this. I've just had a great time fooling around with it. That is my official review, but there'll probably still be more from time to time. Just like I've enjoyed having my Vox and my LT25. I got my small little Vox amp, 20 watt amp that I've had, made a ton of videos with it. I'm probably gonna make a ton of videos using this too, and I think it's going to help me become a better musician, and I think it's going to help me with ideas. I think that's the number one thing is I'm finding myself coming up with new ideas because it's so easy to use the looper, and because it's so, you can just come up with. It's cool to record your ideas all the time anyway, just to come up with some kind of cool chord thing. But then it's very cool when you've actually got some rhythm built into it, and you can sit around and play around with some bass lines, and you come up with some alternate sounds, what you might want your keyboard to do. You can play it on guitar, but you might, hey, maybe the keyboard would do this. And then I'm finding myself plugging it up to the keyboard from time to time, playing, and really enjoying the tones that I get with it. So that's it, folks, the JOYO DC-15S. Maybe a sort of disjointed review, but certainly an enthusiastic one. Good job, you folks. I don't know how the people at JOYO do it and do it for such a great price, but they're innovators. It's a very cool and fun little amp. Peace to all who watch. Subscribe to the channel if you like.